It's either propolis or beeswax, or probably a combination of both. Smells pretty good. Yeah. What is up? First YouTube video back since I've been home from my travels. Main things I've been working on since I've been back have been compost and beehives. It's spring, we're like a month into spring, so the bees are swarming and I'm trying to catch a beehive in my swarm trap. So I've got one in the back there with that wooden plank sticking off it so you can hang it off a tree. I just put one up, but it needs some adjusting, so I'm gonna go back, adjust. I put it up with my granddad, I'll show you some videos now, and there's bees already like checking it out, like multiple bees. You know, it started off with one, and then by the time we left there was like 6 bees flying around it, checking it out.
Trying to find the way in.
I think he's checking it out.
Yeah, oh, he definitely is.
So I'm hopeful that they will swarm there because, yeah, it's just the time of year where bees repopulate on a colony level. So if you put out a home for them, a swarm trap, something that they will be attracted to as a new home, the queen and half of the colony will leave their home to find and colonize a new one, and then the old half of the colony will breed a new queen. Yeah, I've been in a bit of a rush to get them out this morning because it's the first warm sunny day we've had in a while, and they don't like to repopulate or, like, I don't know, go out and about too much when it's cold and raining, which it has been recently. So pulling up at that first hive now. We'll check it out, see if there's still some bees hanging around. We'll fix it up because there was a big gap in it, and then we'll go off and put up our second trap. So you can see the gap there. I'm gonna seal that shut. From what I've heard, when dealing with swarms and bees around, you know, when it's not around their home, it's not so dangerous because they don't have a colony and eggs and a queen, all that to protect. So I shouldn't need a suit, just like dealing with these few bees hovering around. I don't know, we'll see if we get stung or not. There's nothing more rewarding than working on a project day after day, coming back to it and seeing your own progress. I can't imagine the feeling if I actually catch a swarm in this trap. Fuck yes.
Take your booty out. Take your booty out.
I think we might catch one. Now spot number 2. We're on the lookout. What am I looking for? I don't know. I guess a tree that's big enough. So there's 2 wild hives on the property here. One is in this bridge, which I'll show you in a minute, in like the crack of this bridge, and then the other one is in a tree, a hollow tree. So I've got one hive up near the tree, one trap, sorry, and maybe I can find a spot for this one to try and catch the swarm from this bridge. There's the beehive. Holy shit, look how active. They're just frothing the weather. Springtime, baby. Can't blame them. Alright guys, this is trap number 3, and I just saw a little bee. Yeah, so they're checking it out. That's the drones, the male bees scouting for homes. They'll go back and tell the colony if they find something good, and then they'll make the plan to move here when they decide to swarm. Hopefully they choose my home. This is going to be an interesting one. This one has got all top bars in them, no full frames. So it'd be interesting to see. That one could get messy if I have to cut out some things, but we'll see. This might be a bad idea, but here's another wild colony. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to put this next one actually. I kind of changed my mind. So the reason why I'm unsure about this spot by the bridge, so bees travel 5 kilometers around about of their hive location, looking for pollen and nectar. And pretty much where you set your swarm trap, if you're going to catch a colony there, you have to keep your permanent hive in the same spot or within 5 meters, because if you're going to move them to another spot within the 5 kilometer radius that they're traveling to collect their food, then they're going to try to come back to this spot where you caught them and where they decided to set up home, and it's not going to be there, and you're going to lose your colony. That's what I'm hearing anyway. The way around this is, if you're going to move them further than 5 kilometers, that's totally fine. You can move them and place them anywhere you like, but once they're placed there, they have to stay there for that same reason that you can't move them from their swarm trap spot. Hopefully that makes sense. Apparently you can move them 5 kilometers and then move them back, but they have to sit there for 3 weeks in that faraway spot before you bring them back to a new spot on your property. So that's probably not going to happen, in my case at least. And the reason why I'm second guessing this spot is because if I catch a swarm here, I don't think I would want to have a hive, my permanent hive, somewhere around this tree, which is where it would have to be. My other 2 spots for traps that I've got out already, they're good spots to have a permanent hive. Fuck. Yeah. Recently I've been trying to learn from other people's mistakes, or this has been at the front of my mind at least, probably for the past few months, since someone close to me shared this lesson, and how being able to learn from other people's mistakes is how you can get ahead in life at a more rapid rate, because making mistakes is where all the learnings are. So the more things you try and experiment with, and all your failures and mistakes, that's really gonna propel you forward. But if you can learn from other people's mistakes while also making your own, the rate at which you learn and advance in life, whatever you're doing, increases exponentially. There's a bit of nuance to it, because what might not work for someone may work for you. So, are you kidding me? Already a bee. All of my traps have bees flying around them. It looks like it's wonky, but it's not. Like, the car's actually on an angle. But yeah, so, and I've been applying that to beekeeping for sure. Like, there's a million different videos and a million different opinions out there on bees, but listening to those people, and also reaching out to people in person, like local to me and online that I follow that I know are involved with bees, you can start to understand, what things you definitely or would be wise not to do, or what things would be wise to do, And the more people you can talk to, the sort of clearer that becomes. It's not just like a one-off thing, but it's like, oh, I've heard that, a few times now. In the past, I would hear things and I don't know, not super consciously, but I would have to go and make the mistake to myself. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just like, if you want to achieve your goals, and if you have some big goals and these things take time, it is worth, putting some extra energy and navigating through life a bit more consciously. There's definitely a stage where you just have to try anything and everything, but at a certain point you have to get a little bit more strategic and specific with how you progress and advance in your business, in your passions, your hobbies, your work, whatever it is. So yeah, that's my little life lesson. Cheers. On another note, I've been back 2 weeks tomorrow, and I've just been doing my video editing work. Haven't picked up any other jobs, although I would like to pick up another job, maybe even 2, save up some cash, and then get serious about getting some animals and raising a flock of sheep potentially. There's a paddock, just a 5 or 6 acre paddock that isn't being used on my family's property. So I'm really liking the idea of getting some animals and, yeah, probably sheep, and rotationally grazing them through there. Anyway, what I wanted to say was that I'm going to be based here at my family's farm for a good little while. I've been doing heaps of travel over the last few years, and I think it's just time to just like sit down, really try and build something. Because I've been building myself, this whole time traveling, but I'd like to build something outside of myself, I suppose. Kind of like raising a flock of sheep, or, getting some honeybees, looking after them, harvesting some honey. There's many different projects. I've got some compost working at the moment. That's a bit of a slow burn and doesn't require heaps of maintenance, but it's a project that's underway, and I'll need to tend to it eventually, and I'll be able to use it, hopefully, to turn it into a tea and spread it over the pasture. So, put some life back in the soil. Yes, I'm having many ideas. There's been a lot of inspiration from all the families and farmers I've stayed with over the last couple months. Yeah, I'm keen to build something and watch it grow, and ultimately build a business on the farm selling meat. My family has a winery, so a vineyard, and they currently do run sheep through the vineyard at a certain time of year, but it's not managed very well. They don't have the infrastructure or the staff to run it perfectly. In my eyes, with my limited knowledge, would be rotationally grazing them, really high density and short duration, moving them every day or every half a day. Yeah, so it would be cool if I could sort of take that over, because it needs someone that has the time to look after the flock, and that has all the equipment like the electric fencing that's portable, so you can move them around the vineyard. Yeah, I really like the idea of that, and I want to document all of this with like a weekly YouTube video, so please subscribe if you want to follow along. Hit the notification bell and you get notified every time I post a video, and it's not going to be like spammy, because it's just I'll post once a week, maybe twice a week, check in with where I'm at. Yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.